I will take you back to Rivers State now as we bring you update on the local government election there. We have our reporter, Joseph Kunde, standing by for us. Joseph, you arrived Port Harcourt this morning. Tell us what you have observed and give us update on the election.
Pressures coming through from Umbiama. That was one of the earliest of the first communities and the border communities entering River State from Bayelsa. Obviously, according to a testament coming through from the IG of police talking about Ebetoko, sincerely, all the roadblocks had nothing to do with the elections. In fact, they were not stopping anybody, particularly the police officers. But when I was coming through, there were areas that we got to that we had to encounter a bit of it. Are you with me?
We can hear you.
Okay, so as I was going, we had to encounter, so we had to take a detour passing from that particular area to somewhere else. So as I speak to you currently, we have about a kilometer away from here. We also had an altercation, not with ourselves, but the persons there. They said that when I asked them what happened, they said they were coming to vote and they encountered some people that wanted to come and snatch the ballot box. So they had to face them head on. Eventually, police had to step into it and some gunshots were fired. Obviously, I didn't wait to find out if there were any casualties because it was becoming too hot a spot for me as I speak to you. But I'm just a bit of about 1 kilometer away from there. Hopefully the tension has quelled down and in coming days I'll be hearing what really happened. But aside from that one, even the little roadblocks that we normally have within River State that is being anchored by the police, we don't see any one of them around. Currently standing at Lupoku Alu axis, and there used to be one telling one around there, but unfortunately there is no one police officer in those checkpoints. So it tells you a whole lot about police trying to stay away from the local government elections in River State. But aside from that, perhaps the more information about if it's going to hold or it's not going to hold, it's talking about the uncertainty maybe affected the turnout at the polls, because some persons that would have ordinarily come out, they were not sure what they were going to witness or what they were going to see. So they took some time for them to come out, like what I was seeing coming through from Umbiama down to Omagwa and, of course, Igrita. So they were just looking, okay, when they see somebody's coming out, and they will not come out. And there was a handful of contestants I also saw that went out and tell people, okay, tell people to come out and exercise their franchise. But people were not sure. They were skeptic about it, if it was really going to be happening or not.
Joseph, let me put you on hold and bring in Uche to get a broader perspective on this as well. Uche, we know that there was a protest earlier. From what we know now, they have now dispersed. Give us more update on that.
Yes, very correct. The protesters have dispersed. We are back at the starting point of this protest. Comment at about, they began to converge at about 7 a.m., 8 a.m., and they kicked off at about 10 a.m. And from this particular location, just behind me was the melting point of where the protesters and their leaders gathered. They moved from here along to the GRA junction, and then moved from there along the Port Harcourt-Aba Expressway to the headquarters of the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, where they terminated their march, and leaders of the protesters addressed the crowd. And when they got there, I realized that so many leaders of the APC had also joined them. Initially, when it started, it was just being led by leaders of the People's Democratic Party. But by the time the crowd arrived at RESEC office, leaders of the All Progressives Congress had showed up. So it became a multi-party affair. After leaders of the PDP addressed the crowd, leaders of the APC also addressed the crowd, and their message has not changed. Their message is that this local government election in Rivers State is illegitimate, in their view, going by the Federal High Court judgment delivered by Justice Peter Lefu in Abuja. So that's their view. Their message has not changed, and they are insisting that no election, any election that is conducted today, or which is actually ongoing in parts of the state, any election conducted today will not stand the test of time. Eventually, all of this will get back to court, eventually, if or when or if results are announced. So, of course, you know that both parties have raised alarm to the implications of attempting to announce results after all of this is wrapped up today. They are saying any attempt to do so may plunge the state into anarchy, may plunge the state into violence. But like we know, the protest has started, has ended. Election is ongoing in parts of the state. So we expect, we are still following the developments here to see if the commission will go ahead to, or how collation of results would take place. And then subsequently we expect results to be announced any moment now. But so far,
All right, so let's get back to Joseph on this. Joseph, you were talking about how there is movement, but give us an idea of what the state of traffic is like. The governor had earlier declared that today was going to be movement free. No one should come out of their homes. Are businesses open? What's going on in terms of business and traffic?
Well, businesses, I wouldn't say they are open because they are not. Just a handful of those of POS operators. They're trying to look for who's going to probably do a business with them here and there. But aside from that one, it has been a skeletal business coming through, even from the markets as well, because I had to pass through Ilele coming down, and the markets around the Ilele, there was nothing of such. Coming through Ahoda, there was nothing of such. Even when I got to Omagwa, and it was a greeter, and now Rupoku that I am, there was nothing of such. But the road, as you can see behind me, it's free to air. It's good to go. People are just walking the way they're walking because there is nobody obstructing them. There's no vehicle. The vehicle owners that I spoke to actually thought that it was not safe for them to come out, not because anybody was going to obstruct their vehicles from coming out. A handful of them are actually on the road, but people are just staying away from the road for obvious reasons.
Do you observe any polling units, on your way, and if there are people there voting?
Yes, I do. I did actually. From Durban, when I was coming, I saw a handful of them, about 3, 4, 5. And then when I also got to Ilele, I saw a number of them as well. But ordinarily, when I asked what was the scenario like, and they said that if they had known, more persons would have come out. While some were saying that they would have come out, others said no, that the fracas behind all of this and brouhaha is not making them want to join the party. And that's why I was saying that perhaps the uncertainty of the election today has really played a role into those persons that participated in the voting exercise today.
All right, Joseph, I just want to confirm that we have Uche back. Uche, do we have you now?
Yeah, I'm back.
All right, Uche. As expected, network issues. But I also wanted to confirm from you if the governor has reacted to any of this, especially the protest. Joseph, all right, again, connection issues with Uche there. But Joseph, I just also wanted to confirm what you're hearing. I know you've mentioned some of the things you're hearing from residents, but in terms of the people who turned out, we know that there was a protest earlier. PDP and some PDP members and APC members are saying, look, they're not going to participate. Did you get an idea of the political parties, the members of the political parties who are participating in the election?
Two of them, particularly APP and NNPP, are the ones I was able to identify with when they came around. I mentioned earlier about one of the candidates coming to tell people, please come out, please come out. And then when I was asking, who is this man? They told me it was one of the candidates that was coming through. I said, oh, little wonder he was actually coming out to canvass for people to come out and to join the process. So two particular political parties I can tell you, APP and the NNPP. There were no room at all for the ones from PDP and of course the APC, basically based on what has been happening for now.
And apart from the police, stating that it's not going to participate, did you notice any other security agency at the polling units on the road at all?
At the polling units, we had a number of them on uniforms. But I mean, I ordinarily would have asked them who they were, but based on the fact that, when it comes to election times like this, you have to be up with your antennas and all. But sincerely speaking, at polling units, I saw a number of persons of paramilitary uniforms there. I wouldn't be sure if they were the ones that is being owned by the state or by something else, but obviously there were no police officers there or any of the recognized security agencies in Nigeria.
All right, thank you so much, Joseph, for that update. I just want to confirm again if we have Uche now. All right, Uche, I was asking you earlier about if you've gotten any reaction from the governor to all of this and especially the protest.
As at this time, no official word has come from the government. No official word has come from the government. But I think it is safe to predict what will come from the state government. The state government has been talking tough for weeks, has been talking tough for months. Even up till last night, the governor was talking tough that nothing will stop this election from taking place. Also, you recall that when the governor was said to have had that confrontation with police officers at the research office over the 2 nights ago, he said he knows that this is the last fight as regards the political crisis in River State, and that himself and his supporters are ready and prepared to fight till the end. So I don't think that what has happened today, the protest, will in any way dampen the spirit of the governor and his supporters, judging by his defiant comments just few hours before this election day. What has happened today will in no way dampen their spirit. They expected it. They saw it coming. They don't think. Of course, there was no expectation that the other side was going to go to sleep. So I'm sure that the governor expected all of this opposition today, and this will do nothing to dampen his spirit, like I said. And the exercise is also going ahead. So this hasn't done anything to alter the plans of the Rivers State government. This, like he said, is a very critical election. Almost feels like a presidential election. This is deja vu, because it feels like the 2023 general election all over again. So that's the situation. The state is calm as at this time, even though we're getting one or two reports of disturbances here and there. But generally, it is calm. This is the governor's way of saying, going ahead with the election, the governor's way of saying that he is not backing down anytime soon as regards the political crisis here in River State.
And Uche, there seems to be disparity in terms of communication between the national leadership of the PDP and that of the Rivers State chapter. On one hand, the national leadership is saying that its members should participate, but the state chapter is saying no. Has the state chapter reacted to the statement coming from the national leadership?
It is.
All right, again, Uche, we'll try and reconnect with Uche. Thank